Welcome. This is video number 2 of Breathwork for Leaders, Nervous System Mastery with Heather Ann Ferri. I would highly encourage you, after you review this video, write some notes and do the 3-minute breath exercise with me, to go back to video 1 so that you can really reap the benefits of this 9-video series. This particular video, fire breath for pain release and leadership creativity. And this is where it all begins. It all begins with the belly breath. So place both hands on the belly. And as you inhale, we're expanding. And as you exhale, those abdominal muscles are slowly coming in to support the posture. And just take a few breaths. Close your eyes. Get grounded in your space. This is time for you, intimate time for you. Whether you're here in the morning, finding your own intimate space in your home, or whether you're at work, know that with each breath that you're taking, centering yourself to learn and to grow and to stretch yourself as a conscious leader, which starts with leading your own life. This is an activation of self-love. And as I talk to you, I want you to continue to keep your eyes closed and focus on the breath. You can review this video tomorrow and take notes. This is a Ferri University, and this is a 9-part foundational breath series. When you're slowly inhaling the breath, your inhale is always about receiving. What feedback are you receiving in your environment? What feedback are you receiving by the thoughts you have about yourself? Don't judge them. The reason why you have a notebook is I want you to write them out and be transparent and honest with yourself. Be sacred with yourself. No one else needs to know. You can bring in whatever you believe in, whatever religion, or, I use the word God, goddess, which is really divinity within yourself. Angels, I talk about angels on my YouTube channel, spirit guides, or you're just your higher self. For me, a lot of my generational healing practice involved my higher self healing the inner child. And so if you are somebody that knows that has a lot of pain from generational trauma, my book series, my programs, my retreats might be something that interests you. Continue to breathe deep and long. So as we do fire breath and I explain it and show it to you, even if you've done fire breath, let's say for 11 years in different yoga classes, I want you to come into this with me with a new lens and a new experience. I found that people who were veterans of this, who would come to me, were disassociating, were not understanding the patterns they needed to create. Fire breath is just the foundation of so many things we do with fire breath, and we want to make sure it's grounded in utilizing muscle training. So as we learn fire breath today, we're reconnecting breath with muscle. We will use it in different movement positions, one nostril. It stabilizes the nervous system. It brings up awareness of the navel center, and it prepares the body for definitely more advanced patterns with fire breath. This breath, it teaches you about body safety. So leaders who don't feel safe in their own body can't lead with clarity. They can be swayed. This is why I think all politicians should be doing a lot of ancestral healing to make sure that they're in line with the conscious movement of how we get to a new earth government and governing. Once the breath and muscles are working together, we shorten breath into an even rhythm. And that's the key: even fire, even breath. This was very challenging for me when I was, you know, 25, 28 years ago when I first learned this. So have patience. You may need to stop and start. That's common in the beginning. And if you're advanced, I want you to get really specific and really make sure the muscles are engaged. What can happen just from having so much experience with clients is if you do have unresolved trauma that maybe you don't remember or you just think you have healed and it's still stored in the body, it's still affecting maybe your mental clarity, or it's affecting the tightness in your lower back. What happens the longer you do fire breath is the body will start to tell you that story, those feelings. And it can come out with rashes, it can come out with heart increase, it can come out with wanting to just stop. I don't want you to judge this process. I want you to grab that notebook and write about it. Take notes. I'm teaching you the foundation of how to be your own healer scientist. It's really important because that's the first step into something that you might not even be aware of. You see, my body through the journey, as you'll learn if you come to my retreats and my talks, you'll start to understand my body drastically changed, but not overnight. And the deeper I went into these breath patterns, as I will teach you down the road, the more I understood what wasn't fully healed at the roots. Our conscious leaders have to have the awareness that they are choosing to heal at the roots so that they can heal the roots of our businesses and the roots of our governing and the roots of our contracts. So if you're here today, I'm so honored. It's exciting. So fire breath is really beneficial because it provides so much blood flow in the navel area, which is the first place we really tighten up when, something happens, you get in a car accident, or let's say you had a sport injury, or let's say you got into a fight. And so that's why breath practice every day is not even a question for me. And I think it's something that should be trained in our children from very early age. They love it because it feels good. They love breath work because they get high off of it. It's a natural high. And then they can tap into their creativity, which is also what we're opening up, is more creativity to see possibilities in your business, possibilities with your employees. And we're balancing out that sexual energy that has been for many years within my lifetime, within the women I've worked with, within the women in the businesses have been misscrewed with sexual assaults. A lot of people sexually abused, can't remember it. We start to balance that energy out and tap into creativity, your innate creativity, that inner child. So breath work is one of the first tools that help me break cycles. And it's not, like I said again, it's not just about moving air. It's starting to initiate an awakening. And I just want to warn you that sometimes that awakening can be disrupting at first if you're not prepared. If nobody in yoga class is explaining this stuff to you. And the reason why we're sitting in a chair right now is I do not want your legs crossed for this series. And I explain that in video 1. Okay, it's very important. I'm going to just mention a few more notes before we do this together. Sometimes because we're initiating the navel, it brings up the mother issues. So you'll learn about my storyline with my mother being my predator, my abuser, my bully. And so obviously I know a lot about the third chakra, the belly button. But if you have unresolved mother issues or generationally, ancestrally, this is where fat builds up in the belly. This is where a disconnect with the feminine builds up in the body, right? When we're in the business room, seeing that feminine, that divine feminine, and understanding her toolkit is different than the masculine divine. And if we could honor and understand them, how powerful in a way of healthiness and holiness we could be as a society. So this practice, I just have to mention, has hundreds of breath patterns. I'm just giving you an introduction. I explained that in video 1. If you feel called to go deeper into this work, I do Zoom workshops, retreats, and private sessions. You're invited to reach out at my email, youmatter108@gmail.com. I would definitely put in the subject matter, breath work for leaders, nervous system mastery with Heather Ann Ferri. So there's a 2-part to this series of fire breath. First part is 3 minutes of fire breath, no sound, through this 9-part series, no sound, silence. Put a headset on, go outside. It's okay if the birds are chirping and nature's making sound, but no sound. It's really important for you to understand to hear your breath, because it's going to start to connect to your heart and starting to pay attention to what your heart needs healed or what needs to be said. And then video 3, which will be on Monday, is breath work for the spiritual leader. What I mean by that, it's awakening, I say the God, goddess, but the divinity inside of you. So those words may not resonate with you. They didn't actually resonate with me for a long time. So that's okay. But it's really about the sacredness of respecting yourself and healing yourself, so you're not hurting yourself and you're not in pain anymore, so that we're not producing things that are hurting the environment, Mother Earth, and not benefiting people. So we need new types of franchise where people can go and enjoy, but also the employees benefit if they choose to work in a new type of franchise system where they can benefit more financially as well as spiritually. That's a new conscious leader, billionaire. So let me teach. I found a lot of times when I was teaching tons of Kundalini yoga classes and workshops that people want to speed fire breath up too much, too fast. And it's not organic, and it doesn't help when we start to build the foundation. So your hands are over the belly button. And once again, you're tuning in. The inhale, the belly expands. The exhale, the belly slowly comes in to support your spine, to posture. Now you're going to shorten the breath even. And we're going to do that tempo today. And you're going to work on an even tempo, 3 minutes. And as it gets easier and easier, you can speed it up and shorten the tempo. But you really need to master this, because we're going to move on in the next couple of weeks to something harder. So I'm just kind of letting you know that. Okay. So I'm going to watch the timer. We're going to do this together. I'll come up closely so you can hear my breath pattern, because a lot of times clients felt like that gave them the ease. It helped them. When I would place my hand on their belly and then one hand on my belly, they immediately could click into fire breath easier. So you can keep your eyes open or closed, whichever you prefer. And here we go. I should have mentioned one more thing I have to do. Buddha smile. Buddha smile, whether your eyes are open or closed, relaxes these muscles. So a lot of times in my private practice, I found that when people started to work on different breath patterns in the belly, all kinds of weird tension would form in the mouth, which is common. And it's a clue to fifth chakra vocal issue stuff, speaking your truth stuff. But so Buddha smile. Okay, take two. Here we go. Close your eyes, focus in. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Some things that might happen as well is if you feel dizzy, just stop, calm the breath down. And if you feel comfortable, go back in. It just means that the inhale or the exhale is not equal in length yet. And that means we need to train the muscle so we can become more advanced for more advanced breath, fire breath work. You might have sensations in your body, write it in your journal. And if you find really uncomfortable with fire breath, but you don't know why and you want to, schedule a private and we can go deeper into that. The third, so this week you have 9 minutes of breath work to do daily. You can also, if fire breath is easy, you've done it and you're getting it, add time to your work as we progress. And on Monday we'll be doing breath work, like again for the awakening of the divinity within you. So many blessings. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, these videos will be Monday and Wednesday posted at 6 a.m., but you can do them at any time. replay, keep a notebook, understand what you're learning because there's so much more. There's so much more. And if you are a leader or you're somebody in a position, whether it's organizations, nonprofits, or even like the school educational system, we need to get programs like this example, but there are many, many more into advancing ourselves. We're focused so much on learning technology, which is a wonderful thing. But what I fear is we haven't advanced in learning this technology. So if you're on board with that, you can always message me, like I said, again, at my email, youmatter108@gmail.com. Thank you for supporting my channel. In the description, there are donations. If you want to support it, it helps me so much, and I am in such deep gratitude. But just liking and subscribing is such an energy boost. And I just want to say thank you and many blessings for the rest of the week.